Picture this, it's 8 AM on a freezing Tuesday. You're sitting in a classroom that smells like solder wire, cheap coffee, and the collective despair of 25 guys. You've had 2 hours of sleep because your C++ code wouldn't compile until 4 AM. And then the system teacher walks in, looks at the class with total indifference and say, "Alright, open your lab notebooks. I'm coming around to grade the project diagram and the code from the last month. Whoever doesn't have it ready gets an automatic free." In that exact split second, 90% of the class stop thinking about their future career and immediately activates industrial survival mode. Let's be real, cheating in an Italian school is not just a bad habit, it's practically a design requirement. Disclaimer, teachers hate it. The principal forbids it, and if you get caught, you're cooked. But if you ever survived an Italian high school, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Today we are looking at the crazy tricks students use and how far we had to go just to survive the year. The biggest misconception people have about Italian high school students is that we are just lazy or that we complain for no reason. Trust me, if you didn't grow up in our school system, you cannot comprehend the sheer terror of how intense the schedule gets. Instead of a smooth learning experience, your week often turns into a chaotic rush against the calendar. You don't just have one or two things to worry about, you get hit with a non-stop wave of evaluation all at once. For example, we had Monday a massive 2-hour written test, Tuesday a math test, Wednesday a brutal oral exam, and so on. And guys, every single teacher walks in their room acting like their subject is the absolute center of the universe. Like bro, I have over 10 different subjects, 30 hours of class a week, and a brain that stopped functioning days ago when I'm supposed to process all of this information. Because the pressure is so high, high school students in Italy unlock a level of creativity that honestly is impressive. With Rit finding a shortcut like a high-level court operation, turning standard school gear into a makeshift espionage equipment. Of course, you have the classic universal methods everyone knows, the tiny pieces of paper crammed inside your pencil case, writing formulas directly on your hand in pen, hoping your palms don't sweat, and then frantically rubbing your skin against your jeans to erase the evidence. Or writing entire paragraphs lightly in pencil straight onto the wooden desk, or just using your phone. But the method that absolutely blew my mind was completely next level. I remember this guy in my class who took a solid, brightly colored notebook, just one flat matte color. He used a dried out pen with absolutely no ink left in it to firmly carve his notes directly into the plastic cover. To the naked eye, the notebook looked completely empty, but during the test, he would just slightly tilt the notebook toward the windows, using the reflection of the morning light to read the intended carving. It was literal optical engineering. Absolute genius. But Italian teachers aren't stupid. Most of them have been doing this for decades and have seen every single trick in the book. They know exactly how a guild student looks. They developed a literal sixth sense. You know that moment during a test when the room goes completely silent and the teacher goes up from their desk and just stands right behind you, watching your hands? In that moment, your heart rate spikes harder than ever. You're trying to stare at your blank paper to look incredibly busy. Your hands are shaking and you're praying nobody looks your way. Looking back, I'm obviously not saying that cheating is good or that you shouldn't study. You absolutely need to learn to make it out of there. I was just highlighting how intense the school environment can get when you're constantly overwhelmed by endless written tests, stressful oral exams, and zero time to breathe. Sometimes it isn't about being lazy, it's about survival. It's about looking at a mountain of deadlines with zero time left and finding a quick fix to make it to the weekend. In a strange way, managing that stress taught us a lot about problem solving under pressure. So yeah, getting a little extra help definitely happens in Italian high school, and honestly, the methods are probably getting crazier every year with new tech. If you went to high school, drop a comment below with the most insane trick you ever saw to skip a bad grade. And if you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel.